At a time when we are seeing sky-high home prices and a homelessness crisis, the CEO of the Building Industry Association says San Diego County should be doing a lot more to encourage construction in our county, but instead she says it's hindering it. Welcome to The 4. I'm Heather Myers.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. CBS 8's Kelly Hassedall joins us live from the County Administration Building, where that CEO went before the board today. Kelly.
That's right. And just to be clear, we're talking about the unincorporated areas of the county, places like Fallbrook, Ramona, and Alpine. Now, the CEO of the Building Industry Association laid it out pretty clearly. She says there's too much red tape, too many regulations. Here's what she said.
We know that this is a pro-housing board of supervisors, but the policies are preventing us from developing. We do not have any builders looking at the county to build at this time because we know that it is infeasible. So thank you for letting me come back up and speak.
That was Lori Holt-Filer, and she points to numbers from the 2023 General Plan and Housing Element Annual Progress Report. Filer says last year, 57 building applications were approved, and the majority of them were for ADUs. She also notes more than 1,200 permits were approved to start construction, but she says those were submitted years ago and it took a long time to get approval. Now, though the board acknowledged they're on target to meet some of their state housing requirements, they still have a lot of work to do. The majority of permits approved last year were for higher income housing. They said the numbers for moderate and low income housing are still too low. So here's some of what was said by the supervisors.
I'm very frustrated that this moderate, low, and very low remain just so far below the production levels that we need to be hitting.
Are we going to be able to make our numbers with what we've got right now, or do we need to make some pretty hefty changes to get these numbers that we're supposed to make?
And staff says we are seeing progress. Now, this is an 8-year plan, and so far we're at about 68% of our goals. So a lot of numbers were thrown around today, but everyone seemed to agree when it comes to that low-income, moderate-income housing, the county needs to do better. But staff says it is very challenging. At the same time, a lot of the developers are dealing with their private developers who want to get market rate for what they're building. Heather and Carlo.
Yeah, it's definitely a tricky situation. Certainly expensive to do construction in San Diego County, and even adding those permit fees to it. But besides the Building Industry Association, did we hear from anyone else during public comment today?
Yeah, we heard from the San Diego Chamber of Commerce, who says that they're concerned about the low supply of housing as well. You know, they're concerned that workers need a place to live when they come to San Diego. We also heard from a San Diegan on the flip side of this who says, I know you want to give builders some incentives to build, but he reminded them, if you put those incentives out there, put an expiration date on them. He says you need to look at the big picture. We don't know what the housing market is going to look like 30 years from now.
Kelly Hassedall reporting live. We know it's a problem. Got to find some solutions. Thanks, Kelly.